Oh, I'm sure I don't need to tell you that you've probably noticed the system's grip getting tighter lately. Food costs are rising, bills are stacking, right? And people are being let go of jobs that they may have given decades to. And yet something deeper is stirring beneath the surface. Not just this fear that we're maybe feeling right now, but actually a remembering. And so this week's Harmonic Pulse explores the financial matrix that many of us were born into and how it's now unraveling. Because we're no longer here to survive inside a system that never nourished us. We're here to live, we're here to thrive, and we're here to reclaim the Edenic path of resonance, of joy, and of embodied worth. So, let's be honest, most of us were taught from a very early age to ask permission, to obey orders, to be productive, and we were praised for what it was that we produced. And we were also encouraged not to ask too many questions. Education, our schools prepared us for jobs, and these jobs kept us plugged in. And of course, money was the carrot, the constant measurement of our value and our worth. But when inflation hits and these prices soar, is it really about economics? Or is it just another wave of fear that's used to keep us compliant? What I've come to realize and not just understand, but really live, is that when you stop playing the game, it loosens its grip. And when you start choosing based on resonance rather than survival, something begins to shift. The way you relate to money changes, and the way money responds to you changes. And I've been there too, right? I've been tempted to quit my soul work time and time again when it got hard. I've been tempted to go back to the safety of a real job. But every time I was reminded, if I don't trust the divine plan for my life, who will? And even recently, I wanted to refresh my wardrobe. I was looking through thinking, God, what is all this? I've had it for years. And, those old voices rose up. Those ones that say, well, is it wise? We're in this financial unknown at the moment. It feels a bit scary, right? There was also some guilt, like, should I really be spending on myself at this time? Is that selfish? And then, of course, probably the most famous one is, well, shouldn't you wait until when? And that when could be when you've got enough, when you've achieved this, those old games of power, status, and money that determine whether you are worthy of having the things that you need and that you love. And these really were the voices of the old control grid. The Edenic path really honors beauty and joy and nourishment, and it honors it now, not sometime in the future, because in every moment we are choosing which timeline we are living on. Are we living on the timeline of lack and survival, or are we choosing a higher timeline of beauty, joy, and feeling nourished, feeling supported? Because that is the key, really, to the life that we then experience. How we show up teaches life how to respond to us. Okay? And so the way I see that we're unfolding and what I'm terming the Edenic economy is not about profit margins. And it's not about, working for status, money, and power. It's about two sacred principles. And so the first one is resonance, as I mentioned earlier. Does this feel aligned for my soul? Does this offering support my highest path? So that's number one. And then the second principle is reciprocity. Are we both nourished by this exchange? Is there joy and integrity in what's given and received? Okay. So, even though I've got prices on my website, those numbers are really like an invitation. They're not like a wall, excuse me. So, and of course, I support people who are awakening, who are starting to awaken to who they are as a soul and starting to unlock their soul gifts. And so perhaps you have a soul gift awakening and you might be ready to leave the old grind behind, right? And so if it feels like a true yes in your body, then get in touch, right? We can walk this new earth way together. We can really learn how to step out of this fear and lack mentality that we've been programmed to kind of live in. And then we start to access and embody beauty, really being present, and then this co-creation between with each other, right? And so, yeah, this week's resonance note then. Your soul was never meant to earn its worth. It was only meant to express its truth, right? And these are our soul gifts that are coming online. And, we're really in this heightened state now of collective awakening. So it's really, really important. It should be a priority at the top of your list to start to uncover who you are and who and what your unique gifts are, because that's how we co-create the new earth. And so, if this message maybe stirred something in you, then do explore my offerings on my website, from Soul Path mentoring to energy healing. And then I've also got programs that support your transition from this survival-based living to step into your true sovereignty, to become that sovereign being that you've always been. You just forgot, right? Um, and I also love to write, so I share my writings and soul reflections from my own lived experience on my Substack platform. And so you can read my insights on awakening. There's also creation codes on how to transform and create your reality and dismantle, these false systems from within, really. So together, we can uncover your heaven on earth. So I hope you took something from this today, this message of wisdom, and yeah, I'll be back soon. Bye for now.